I've come out this morning to Bodiam Castle, one of my favourite spots out here in the southeast of England. I want to talk today about a side of photography that I really do dislike, meaning that you're probably wondering why I've come to Bodiam Castle of all places. Before I explain though, I want to focus on the upcoming sunrise. So I touched upon it at the end of Thursday's video, but where I'm standing now is where I feel I got one of my 3 portfolio shots of 2023. So because I'm out here today, I thought I'd come out and see if I can do better, or if not, at least equal a shot from last time around. Now that's not going to be an easy feat because whilst we've got some beautiful colour around us, we're coming out in the autumn this time. That shot last time around was shot during the winter, so we've got a little bit more, we've got more foliage on the trees. It's turned that lovely autumn gold colour at long last, but we don't have too much colour in the sky. It's a bit flat, we don't have any real cloud, so we're not going to get that drama in the sky, that atmosphere that you know I love so much. We've got a little bit of mist, we've got a little bit of mist on the lake, which does add a little bit, it makes up for it just a little bit. So whilst I'm going to try and capture the same shot a second time round, I imagine the results are going to be very, very different on this occasion. The trouble with a location like this one isn't having the ducks laughing at me in the background, so that I can ignore, but it's the fact that the main subject dominates this landscape, and in this case it's of course the castle that you're going to come here, and that's going to be your main point of focus. But don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it here. When I was a kid, castles like this were what I imagined whenever I used to draw them. But you could stand anywhere in these castle grounds and you could probably get a great shot, just like here. From here too. And just like here, well, maybe not here, I've got a tree in the way, but you get the point. As you know and can tell, this is a location I really do love, but in the same vein I do dislike it a little bit as a photographer. I bet that confuses you now, doesn't it? I actually touched upon this last week. One of my favourite aspects of photography is the ability to challenge myself, going out not knowing if I'll be able to find a composition. Sometimes I'll have the composition set up, I'll hit that shutter button and I'll just know, looking at the back of the camera, that yeah, I've got a really good shot to look at. Sometimes I won't even realise until I get back to Lightroom I'm editing my shot, and it's only when I get to that final edit that I realise, yeah, I've got a good shot here. And that's the problem with a location such as Bodiam Castle. It's a beautiful spot, it really is, but for the most part you come here to get a version of the castle. Why else would you come here? And there's nothing wrong with doing that, don't get me wrong. It's the same with other scenic spots, but for me it's that aspect of easy photography that I just dislike about it a little bit. There's nothing challenging about it. Like I've shown, you can shoot this castle from just about anywhere and you can get a great shot. Brilliant. For me, photography, I love being able to find the unexpected, and it's why I wanted to shoot this video in 2 parts today. The first part I was always going to focus on capturing a few new versions, should I say, of Bodiam Castle, and now I've done that, I want to go and explore the castle grounds, something I've never really done when I've visited here before, and I want to see if I can find some of those more challenging shots, some of those shots that I won't normally expect to come across. So we're going to ignore the castle and go see what we can find. So for our first shot, ignoring the castle, I've put the 100 to 400mm back on. Never really used it before last week, but already I think I've got a couple of shots here that I could use. Now this isn't a challenge, so I'm not restricting myself to anything, hence why the first image is of the castle. Now you're probably confused now, you're probably thinking, hang on, I thought we were going to ignore the castle. But I've literally just walked around the edge of the moat. And I love these little windows. I think, are they portcullises? Used to kind of defend the castle. And it's just this lovely minimalistic shot, because you've got, of course, the hole in the wall, and then you've got the ancient brickwork. I'm just going to focus on just to the side of it. Lovely minimalistic shot. And then I'm going to grab a second, because here in the foreground we've got these lovely dead dying leaves. So I think I've got two shots really worthy, and ironically they're both of a subject that I was going to steer well clear of. Starting off well, haven't I? So with the 100 to 400mm lens still on, I think it's just a case of looking out into the beautiful English countryside in the distance. I'm not sure if there's much worth capturing, but at the moment we've got some beautiful haze caused by the morning sun. Nothing here, I don't think, for our next shot. Like I say, this is all about trying to find a form of photography that's not easy on the eye. So it's not about just shooting what's in front of me, it's about finding something a little bit different. Oh, that sun is bright this morning. Beautiful day, beautiful day. So I've been walking around trying to find something different. And I think this has been one of those days where easy photography has turned into really challenging, really difficult photography, rather than challenging in a good way. Everywhere I've looked, I think the light's a little bit too harsh. It's one of those days where you want to come out and it's a really nice day, but there's no cloud in the sky, it's just too blue. Where there's a little bit of cloud over behind me, I should say. I hadn't seen that, but it's just making finding compositions in general really difficult. But I don't see this as a failure. I don't really ever see this as a failure, because of course I'm coming out and learning. I'm kind of, again, honing the photographer's eye in a different approach, because you never know what you might find. It's just taking your time, going a little bit slower, looking at even little things, and you might well come across something. Now, I'd originally hoped to find a composition here. Originally this was a gate that I've managed to capture in the past, and I hoped maybe I'd be able to capture and share a different type of composition with you today. Well, it doesn't look to be a gate anymore, which is a little bit disappointing, but I guess it's still a composition that I can share with you and walk through, because whilst it might not be very good to look back at when I get home, it might also be worthy of looking at when I get home. So we've got this muddy path that just leads us off down the shot, and then of course got the iron fence, your wooden part of the fence now, which used to be a gate, and then we've got this tree nicely in the background. Let me get the live view up on screen and you can see what I mean with this shot, because I'm undecided whether to shoot it in portrait or landscape mode. Again, this might be one of those shots that I shoot in both and let you decide at the end. This is the shot here in portrait mode now, and it just brings a lovely amount of the tree together. We've also got a nice amount of the path. Now, portrait mode, landscape mode, I've read it depends what way the lines are leading. If they're leading off into the distance, you want to be in portrait mode. If they're going from side to side, you want to be in landscape mode. But I've now just changed it round. Now you can see it in landscape mode. Of course, we don't have as much of the tree in the distance this time around, but we've got a little bit more of the landscape in general. So like I say, I'm not too sure as to what orientation I'm going to favour over. I think I'll put both up on screen and I'll let you decide. You can tell me which one you prefer. But I think this has been an experiment which hasn't necessarily worked this time around. Like I say, the conditions have been a bit too good for me, but who knows next time. And it's important when we go out to these locations, these scenic spots like Bodiam Castle, like other top destinations, you don't just have to focus all your energy on that one scenic spot. Landscape photography, you've got the whole landscape. The whole landscape is a canvas for us to work with. So instead of just focusing on that one almost minute subject, Bodiam Castle is not minute by any means, but instead of focusing on that one minute subject, look at the canvas as a whole and see what we can find. But let's take the portrait shot now at the very least. Get back into manual mode. I don't want to shoot in filming mode, that would be a disaster. My ISO is quite high at the moment, but with the sun up now, I think I can bring that nicely down. Yeah, ISO 400, 1/160th of a second, f8. We want that right vertical, just falling on the tree, focusing in the middle. There we go. So I decided to leave that shot in portrait mode. I didn't like it in landscape. Too much light, too much empty space. It didn't work as well for my liking, so I won't take a shot, I won't share a shot if I don't like it myself. That's kind of my mantra. But I have walked around to the other side of the fence to take the shot from the angle I always wanted to shoot it from. Like I say, unfortunately we don't have the gate there anymore, but we do have the tree. We've got leaves on the tree at the moment still because we're not into winter, which is the difference from last time. And this time, landscape might work just as well. I might have to take a couple of steps back, so I might go out of shot a little bit. Might even need to exposure bracket just to make sure we get some lovely colour in the sky. Let's take it in portrait mode as well, this one, because I do love this angle. Because as well, just over in the left-hand side here, we've just got this little bit of a very muddy, very slippery path leading its way to where the gate was. So it's another beautiful leading line. I want to make sure I'm able to get that in shot as well. There we go. I think that shot's going to be a little bit better, but let me know out of all three which you prefer. I think that's me done for now, and I'll see you again next time out and about.